This is the GodisaGeek podcast for E3 Day 3, live from LA, brought to you by Gfinity and their tournament builder app for the Xbox One. Hello everyone and welcome once again to the GodisaGeek podcast. Today is another E3 podcast, this time from Day 3. It's the final E3 podcast. I'm Dan Murphy, this is Mike Stubbsy, and we made it, Stubbsy.
We did, just about.
How would you rate this E3 compared to the last one and the other ones you may have witnessed from afar in recent years? It's been good, I thought. It's been a good show.
I thought it was probably a bit weaker than last year.
Okay.
Purely from, not necessarily announcements, but show floor
Yeah, I
perspective.
did feel like there was a lot.
The show floor was very barren.
I'd agree.
But obviously you got no Activision, or not properly anyway, no EA. They were sort of the big missing ones, and then Disney went there. Disney had a massive booth the year before. I just think there was enough there to keep us busy all the time. But I think if a few more drop out next year, which quite easily could happen because of the way contracts work and shit, then I think next year's going to be an interesting year, because obviously there'll be the console reveals, like the NX will be there playable, but we should know about it before then. And I imagine Microsoft will show off their thing that they announced, Scorpion or something?
Scorpion.
I think that'll be the interesting side of it. But if, let's say, probably not 2K because they've got a fucking good spot and seem to love it this year, but maybe someone like Warner or Capcom or Square, if sort of one of them goes, then the show becomes a lot less relevant. If Activision and the EA don't come back,
It didn't feel like Sony had that much on the show. I thought that they didn't have Horizon on the show. I don't think they.
I don't know. You've got them both.
Yes. I agree. From what I heard about extensively coming into this, I thought I'd be a lot busier, as in rush. Well, Adam and you booked it really well, so there was never a time when I really had to rush to anything. But I thought there'd be more of a. I thought there'd be more people there. So I thought it didn't feel like as busy as I expected it to be, and I was rarely, apart from going in the middle of the West Hall, I was never like screaming in my head for some fucker to move or something. But I really enjoyed it for the first one. I feel like it was a good first one because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't quite as hectic as maybe previous years, and there was still a lot there. Like I think by far the busiest thing was Zelda. Like the queue for that all 3 days was wrapping around their booth, which was massive.
Well, you say that. I was speaking to someone from a VR website that I know, and they, Bethesda weren't doing appointments at all because they had their press thing Sunday night, but they didn't go to that because they didn't get in to LA in time. So he wanted to try Bethesda VR with Fallout 4,
Right.
and they had that on the show floor. So apparently he sprinted on the final day, sprinted there as soon as doors open. He was in the queue for 4 hours.
Fuck off.
For a 5-minute demo.
Jesus Christ. My God, that is mad thing, that.
Yep.
So, is there any other thoughts you've got for this year's E3 before we get into the stuff we played and saw on Day 3?
I think I enjoyed it more just because I saw everyone. Last year, I didn't know all that many people in the industry, so I kind of didn't speak to that many. But this year, I think I probably spent as much time just talking to people and chilling with people than I did playing games, because everything was fucking hands off this year. But yeah, it should be good to see everyone. I think that's probably why I'll come back next year.
Yeah.
Just to chill.
People, not the...
Just to chill for a week. Fuck work.
Yeah, for me, as like a newcomer to E3 and to the industry, really, it was nice. You were a good help. I think if I'd have come on my own, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much because of yours, that able to introduce to a lot of people. And everyone's really nice. I managed to come through E3 not being jaded and cynical as fuck, so that's alright, isn't it? So, shall we dive into what we saw on the final day of E3? And you saw The Last Guardian.
I did that first thing. I can't remember who I was talking to about it. I was fucking good at it.
So it was playable?
It was playable.
Okay.
It was like a 35-minute demo, I want to say.
Okay, and what did that entail?
But it was in a behind closed door room, and they had 4 setups. And it was just a single player, start very If it was the very start, I think it was the very start of the game. It's basically when you meet Trico, which is like the bird griffin type thing.
That's like a hyena to me.
No, not so.
Yeah, it reminds me of the hyenas out of Lion King.
No, really, it's kind of cooler. But yeah, like there was 4 pods, and we all started at exactly the same time. Like they were like did a little bit of a speech, just like if you get stuck, then shout me, and I'll just be here watching you and judging you. And so we all started at exactly the same time. I was the fucking first one to finish. I was like speed running The Last Guardian.
Okay.
So
something strikes me as that's not how you should play The Last Guardian, but
no, okay, I was the best.
Yeah.
So officially the best Last Guardian player.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really weird because like The Last Guardian I didn't really know anything about apart from the reveal trailer last year and the fact that it's just been basically Duke Nukem forever.
Yeah.
And so like the trailer last year kind of gave a bit of gameplay things, but this was sort of really interesting to see how it works. Obviously, you're this kid who seems to just like the demo started with like him waking up next to the Trico thing that was like chained up and injured. And so first off, you had to sort of explore the environment. Well, it did a little bit of a tutorial, like telling you how to move and jump and do the camera and shit. And like dotted around the environment, there was these barrels which you could pick up and then throw at Trico, and then that's like his food. Like he breaks it open and eats the shit that's inside. And because he's like laying on the floor practically dead, you have to get 3 of these barrels and throw it at them to like so he regains his strength. And that's just sort of teaching to jump and climb and go under shit. And then when you meet him, he is like he's been attacked or something and has got like spears in his ass. So after you've like fed him, it sort of teaches you how to climb on him. So you go up to him and like hold R1, I think it is, and you basically treat him kind of like a big ass tree, and you can like climb up him and climb across him. And providing you're holding R1, then you'll always be grabbing onto him and can't fall. So you've like got to climb up his ass and pull out the spears. And then like he's chained up. So you've then got to climb like up to his neck and release the chain.
Okay.
And then after that, it's kind of like he's roams freely. So then it's like it goes to more of the puzzly platformy type things where you have to use him as kind of like a climbing frame to get to higher up places.
Okay.
So the first area is like this really high ledge that you've got no chance of jumping up to.
Yeah.
But he like you with circle you can like call him. And it's not like in other games where you have a companion, like fucking in Red Dead when you press the horse button and you like whistle and the horse is there within a second. Like sometimes he's just like, no, fuck you, I'm not coming, I'm doing my own shit.
Okay.
And then like if you call him again and again, like eventually he will come to you, but
it's got a bit more life about
it. He's not just there to serve you by the looks of things. So like, you call him to like stand near this edge and you climb up in and jump from him to the ledge and feed him some more shit. And then after you get up that ledge, you find like this plate thing.
Okay.
And you can shine that in a location, and he like breathes out an electric vortex thing out of nowhere.
Okay.
And that can destroy stuff. So you get this plate, and then you go back to the starting area, and there was like this big wooden blocked off thing that looked like a bridge had collapsed and blocked the way. So like you shine the plate on that, and then he like poops out his electric shit, and it destroys it, so you can carry on. And then sort of there's more platforming, and he doesn't really like water, so there's one area where it's like a massive lake, and he just stays on the cliff on top and won't go into it. So you have to go find some food, like in the barrels, and throw the barrels into the water to make him, because like food, he fucking loves it, so he'll go anyway. So if you put the barrels in the water, he will then go for the barrels. And then obviously because he's fucking massive, he can jump up to ledges. So eventually, like, he jumps up to this ledge and hangs his tail down. But like it's only there for a few seconds, so if you fuck it up, then you have to call him back and do it all again. But you climb up his tail, go up further. So basically, he's just like a giant ladder.
Okay.
Just with a bit of sense about him.
Yeah.
And so I'll be kind of interested because that's pretty much where the demo ended.
No combat in the demo with.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. But it was the thing that impressed me the most was kind of the behaviour of Trico. Like the fact that he isn't just the Red Dead horse that instantly spawns whenever you want it to, and like he kind of does his own thing, and it's a bit. And I imagine like as the relationship grows throughout the game, that might get stronger and he becomes more responsive.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like it ended with like a cutscene, and the kid was seemingly telling the story in his old age, so like it was slightly narrated.
Okay.
And he would be like, "Oh, and then I found the plate, but I didn't know at the time that plate would be really important." But yeah, and like the kid's tattooed like to shit. But
I was wondering, there was a theme of children with tattoos that's on his thing, because the kid in God of War had tattoos as well.
Did he?
Yeah. He had marks on his skin.
Yeah.
Who knows if they were real?
But yeah, like he wakes up and he's just like, "Where the fuck are these tattoos coming from?"
Oh, so he doesn't know, so there's a mystery about it. Okay.
So like he just wakes up next to him, he's just like, "Oh, where the fuck are these tattoos coming from?" And he's just like, "Oh shit, I heard about them, they're gonna eat me." And he's just like, "Ah, no, it's fine, he's not gonna eat
so was he scared of it at first and then realised it's like friendly?
Yeah, it's like, no, because one of the lines is, I've been told about these man-eating beasts from the elders, but I wasn't scared at all. I felt weirdly comfortable.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just like that.
I didn't look, because I've not been, by the scale of like the treacle and that, I've been like, it looks good, but I don't think I've been that blown away by its appearances from what I've seen so far, so I didn't look in action.
I mean, the areas that we were in were really small and confined. It was basically like in a cave,
Okay.
so there was no like vistas or anything to look at. The one bit that did impress me was like the big ass lake bit, like the water in that looked really good and reacted.
Okay.
Like when Trico jumped into it the first time, it like fucking created a massive wave and like flooded.
Yeah, okay.
Like I was stood on a ledge that was originally just above the water, like getting in the food, and then when he jumped in, like that flooded, and so that looked good. But I mean, quite difficult to comment because it was sort of not a very visual demo.
Yeah, okay. So, I take it you've not played Shadow of the Colossus or
No.
What is the other one? What are they called? The team? Ico, that's it. So I take it you've heard enough about them though, and you know that they're magical and all that, and everyone loves them. So do you think this has the chops to live up to the billing of those two, like the magical type people hold it such revere?
Like I think it's too early to say. I think it depends on the interactions between the kid and Trico and how that develops and the story behind it. Because gameplay is interesting, but unless they change it up significantly, then it wouldn't get repetitive for 10 hours. Just like using him as a climbing frame to get to different places. I imagine and I hope that it'll be more puzzle based. Because this was literally the start of the game, so not very challenging.
But intriguing nevertheless.
Yeah, that's good. Like one of the most interesting things I played at E3.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm quite excited for it now.
It's good stuff. So, the Agents of Mayhem trailer either leaked or was released. I can't remember which.
It was released
a week or so before E3, and I think most of us didn't think it looked that good. It wasn't really a trailer showing what the game was at all. It looked just another type of Volition, cringy character type stuff. So when I went to play it, I wasn't exactly enamoured or excited. Really, I didn't really know what it was at all because they hadn't shown any gameplay of it at all. I did beforehand.
I don't think so.
So I go into the demo, not really expecting what it is, and then I'm told that it's basically it's another third-person open-world action game set in. It's in the same universe as Saints Row.
Yay!
But I get the. Do you like Saints Row?
No.
Or was that sarcastic?
I was like, Saints Row's been shit since after the second one.
Yeah.
The second one was good, and then they just went too stupid.
It's intriguing because I have loads of mates like the second one as well. But I kind of admire them how they just went, fuck it, we're not going to be GTA, so let's just be a piss sick. And funny enough, this is kind of. It's like remember how GTA had the 3 different characters you can switch to?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of works the same in this. So, the Agents of Mayhem are I can't remember. Mayhem is like members of multinational agents to stop supervillains, something like that. It's all acronyms. And it's led by this one called something Braidstone. I can't quite remember that either. I've got it all written down, but I can't be asked. And basically, there's 12 different agents you can select, that you can collect over the course of the game. But you go into missions or go into the world with a squad of 3, and you can change to any of them in just like pressing the D-pad. So I went into this demo, which was probably about 20 minutes of a mission where a super intelligent AI, who is also a Japanese pop star, who's quite amusing, wants to infiltrate this dude because he's an evil guy, and then she ends up wanting to marry him, and then you have to just destroy them both. And I went into this with the dude who says "ahoy motherfuckers" in the trailer. So he's called Road Jack or something like that. Who's a shotgunner with a harpoon, so like a tank basically. Then I went with Fortune, who has 2 pistols and just runs about. And then I can't remember her name, but she was an archer, an Indian archer. And you just like, so you go in, you have a balanced squad, so archer, distance, short, powerful, and you can change this like you just go in and just wreck shop. It's just very fun, bombastic, over the top kind of fun with some good humour in it, and it was actually surprisingly alright. I think they said it was like pre-alpha stuff, so it wasn't exactly refined or anything, but it felt really good. Like the shooting and the melee, like literally just pressing R3 in, was quite weighty and just had a bit of impact to it. And it has the things where numbers come out of the heads, so it's like, it's not a satisfying thing to look at sometimes. The movement, so you could have like double jump and dash, so you could like cover great distances quite quickly. And it was a bit floaty, but I kind of liked how it felt still. It was like I was trying to climb up all these buildings, and it was really good. And it looks, I was really pleasantly surprised by it. It just seems like fun, light-hearted fun that Volition are known for, and it seems like the eye changed it up a bit. It's not just Saints Row, even though kind of is a little bit, but I like the idea of it, that you're in a squad of agents and stuff. My only worries is that the characters so far are a little, whilst I think the characters themselves are quite cool and interesting, and there's a good variation like ethnicity wise as well, I feel like the actual abilities they have and the weapons they use are all a bit fucking, just a bit substandard so far. It's just shotgun, rifle, pistols, bow, and I hope they have something a little bit more in plan. That with Saints Row, the Saints Row universe, you can literally make any shit up and have anything. So I hope they go that far and have just weird weapons and stuff again. And finally, it's set in Seoul, open world Seoul, futuristic. So it got like 2 years ago, it got destroyed by something. So now it's like the futuristic technological capital of the world. It looks pretty cool. Like there's a good mesh of like old, like Korean, like what's the word for building? Architecture. Basically like loads of new buildings and animated drones and shit like that. So it looks really good. Pleasantly surprised by it. Have you got any interest at all in it?
Just not really. I
can understand that.
I really like Saints Row 2, and then I just lost all faith in them with the Resident 4.
You just didn't like the direction they went in.
Yeah, it was just shit. Like, I don't really want to be a president with fucking superpowers who just wrecks everyone. I kind of liked the kind of grounded in reality shit.
Yeah,
the thing about Saints Row 2 was that you could drive planes when in GTA 4, I think it was, you couldn't drive planes, like not properly. And so like we would just use that, and I spent way too many hours in like multiplayer just fucking with people.
So you just seem like they didn't want to compete on the exact same level field anymore, because everyone say Saints Row is like a little version of GTA, even though Saints Row 2 was good by all accounts, but they obviously didn't have much in way of like sales compared to GTA 4 at the time.
Well, nothing's good compared to GTA in sales.
So obviously they wanted to go their own way, and I admire that, to be fair, and it's led to some just fucking crazy shit. And this looks, like I said, it looks surprisingly alright. I don't know how, I think it needs a lot more variation in characters and a bit more fun and creative stuff, but certainly a surprise that I wasn't expecting. Attack on Titan. Now, you told me before we started this that you kind of liked Attack on Titan, which is quite out of character for Max Stubbsy, who hates all Japanese shit.
Yeah, I mean, also what I said to the bloke at the booth, like, I obviously Koei Tecmo, I think they are now, not Tecmo Koei, that I think they used to be. I went to see them, and he was like, do you like Attack on Titan? I was like, no, never seen it. Like, I'm aware that it exists, but I have no idea what it's like. So he kind of gave me a bit of background, like Titans are the big ass, like fucking monster baby things that just want to attack shit. And you're playing, I can't remember what they're called, but like these normal kind of people that sort of need to destroy them and keep everyone safe. And I went into it thinking, right, Japanese games are shit, like this would be god awful. But mechanically it's actually really fun. Like there was some story shit that I did not understand whatsoever. And I can only assume it was a relatively rough translation because some of it didn't really make sense in sentences.
Is it technical? I can imagine they'll go to town on the translations and stuff. Japanese games are pretty good.
Probably, I don't know, but it just felt like some words were a bit weird.
Okay.
But basically, all I was doing was flying around this kind of city area. I say flying around, like you've got these right. You know, if you go to like theme park or something, or I don't really know where would have one in your area, but like you get them things where it's like two massive towers and they've got a bungee rope in between them, like in a ball, and shoots you up like 200 foot in the air. Basically, you can make them by like pooping out cables from your ass like either side. So if I'm in like an alleyway with buildings on either side, I can like fire a cable to a building on the right and one to the left, and then sort of it launches you up and forward, and then you've got like a jetpack kind of thing that can boost you forward.
Just to get up to the Titans. Like,
so like you can move around really quickly, which is really good fun. And then when you get near a Titan, you enter battle mode by pressing like one of the triggers or something. And then whenever you use like the cable button, instead of just like pooping them out left and right to make you move forward, it shoots a cable at a body part of the Titan, which you can select. And then like you can use your jetpack to like hover around, but if you just don't press anything on the analog stick, you start flying towards it, and then you can boost in further to make it quicker. And then you've got to like, as you boost in closer, you've got to time your hit so that you like use the momentum of flying towards him to hit at the right time, and like the better you time it, the more damage you do. So like to kill them, you have to like slash the back of their neck. But like some of them are pretty rapid and like spin. If they notice you and you're the only one attacking them, they'll like spin around and try and. So if I attach to the back of their neck, they'll like spin around, and if you don't hit that body part, you basically do no damage. So you kind of have to position yourself so that you can just fly straight into the back of the neck and slash it. I basically did that for about 20 minutes.
You didn't get bored of it?
Didn't get bored.
That's quite a testament to be
fair.
fair.
It was like mechanically, it's really good fun. Like
you actually don't give a shit about the story.
Oh no, it's like if this was, I don't know, think of a good
Big
game.
Brother game.
No, because you don't slash people. If
Yeah,
this
you
was like
very much could do.
if this was like a Dota spin-off, this would be the greatest game in existence.
That's interesting. So, what type of game is it? So, is it just you just have these battles and that it? Is there an open world to it?
See, I have no idea. I was literally just dropped into an arena. It was quite a big area, but it was definitely enclosed. And just all these Titans kept spawning, and I just killed them.
How did it look? Like, did it look like how all Japanese? Like attackers, so like Final Fantasy, where it feels like you're really far away from it and it's looking up at it, that type of thing. Like how? No,
because it's really vertical. Because like you're in the air a lot of the time, so you're not exactly looking up. But like visually, it's not amazing.
Are they going realistic or like cartoony?
No, it's cartoony. Like fucking imagine a Naruto game, and you basically got it.
Yeah, okay. But I doubt you'll ever play it, really, or will you?
No, probably not.
Yeah, but that's. At least it didn't fucking...
It's not awful.
Yeah, well that's a good testament, isn't it? Abzu, you know what that is, I presume?
No, not a clue what it is.
You know, remember when you're walking into the West Hall, the blue thing?
Oh, the fucking fish tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
Right. It got announced last year's Sony conference, I believe, or maybe Gamescom, and basically, it's made by the game director or someone, or the writer maybe, used to work on Journey, and the composer did Journey as well. And before I was even told that, I was like, this looks a lot like Journey. And thus it is, but it's going to be the next Journey, I think. It's like I say, it's set on this diver. They told me that they wanted to create the dream of diving without having to deal with all the bullshits like breathing and like fucking being slow and stuff under the water. So basically, you just go you're under the sea. There's bare fucking fish, and you interact with them, but you're going through it, and it's that good design way. Did you play Journey?
Yeah.
So you know how Journey, like, there's no, apart from the mountain and the cliff, there's no real indication of where you have to go, but you still end up going the right way anyway. It's like that type of good design again, that you could have no idea like where you're meant to go, but you'll end up going the right way eventually. So that was interesting, and it was telling me that there's an area. So there's an area where you end up in, and everything in it is dead. So there's no fish, the seaweed's like died, and you go into this portal, and it takes you to this magical other dimension type thing, and you have to swim through, activate something, and then all the life comes back in. And he told me there was 10,000 different fish in this area, and he explained that to do that, so at first they only had like 100 fish in it, but they wanted to get so many more. So apparently they got rid of the animation skeleton in the body, and then let them do what they wanted with like mathematical equations or something, which I thought was interesting. Obviously, it kind of went over my head a bit, but it looked stunning. Like and genuinely, like they had so many fish, and you could tell that they were all like. Obviously, there were schools of fish that go in the same direction and stuff, but you could tell that they were all like individuals, so they weren't all like flapping this fin at the same time and stuff like that. They all had like, slightly different movements, so it looked really good. And there's also these bits like there's these statues you can sit on called meditate, and you can literally just sit down and scroll through the different fish. It'll tell you like the name of them, which is like nothing amazing, but it's just nice like education. And going zoomed in, it looks really really nice. It's I want to describe it without using a fucking Studio Ghibli comparison again, but it is like that. It's just like really nice, like not photorealistic, but like the realistic colours in like a pastel light type shade, cell shade, whatever you want to call it. It's really nice, but you can tell straight away that it's just going to follow the same beats as Journey. So like instead of whatever the evil thing was in Journey, can't remember. This time it's just going to be a great white shark that will appear every now and then and try and eat whatever you've got. And my only real issue was, because it was stunning and it looks really, like I say, it looks stunning. The fish were great. Is that the controls are quite fiddly and take a bit getting used to, because you know every other game you press you hold down forward to go forward. With this, if you hold down forward, you'll end up swimming in a fucking loop. So you have to like just press forward once, then hold R2 to swim and do that. But it's kind of hard to like get used to it at first. It's out in August though, and I think a lot of people are like, I do think it'll get called, and I'm going to call it in my preview if I write it at some point. It's going to be this generation of Journey, and it looks quite good to be fair.
Is it just going to be like my problem with Journey was, and people seem to disagree with me on this.
Okay.
But my problem with Journey was that I played it and I went, right, that's cool, and I never ever went back to it. It was 2 hours and it wasn't cheap.
Yeah, I agree.
Is this going to have any replayability or?
I feel like I could see myself spending a lot longer in this type of game just because there's a lot. Like, they told me that you can go through the story in about 2.5 hours again. Right. But with this, there seems to be, from what I played, it seems to be a lot more secret stuff you can find in like the ocean depths and stuff. I feel like you could just spend a lot of time because once you get the controls down, just swimming in that world and messing with all the fishes can be quite relaxing, tranquilizing. And it looks, like I said, it looks really nice. But you can tell just straight away the story stuff's going to follow a lot of the same beats as Journey. Because happy, really lovely bits, but then dark, solemn bits, and eventually they even have manta rays in it. It's like, alright, here we go. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I want to review it because I feel like I won't get on with the controls that much. I reckon someone else should do it because God forbid I hate something everyone else likes. But I think it's definitely going to get all them comparisons, and it probably did deserve it so eventually. You, after whatever else you did, saw Turtle Beach.
I did. I've seen Turtle Beach a lot this year actually, because they're making a big esports push. But like their Elite Pro headset's good, and you all know that, so I'm not even going to talk about that. The one reason that I really wanted to see Turtle Beach again this year was that last year, like I said, the best thing at E3 was Turtle Beach's crazy sound tech, where like you can basically have the equivalent of a torch but for sound.
Okay.
And last year I was down at it on like a retail kiosk where if you stand back a bit, then you don't hear any sound, but if you stand right in front of it, you hear the sound. This year they had a super early prototype, like to the point where it looked horrific and you could see all the cabling and stuff. It was nowhere near retail. This was like proof of concept, where they've taken that technology, because currently they have a product on the market where you get like these massive, big ass, kind of like, imagine if the 12-inch iPad was on a stand.
Okay.
It kind of looks like that, and they're what send the sound waves out. And they're pretty ugly, but that's available for like people with hearing difficulties on market at the minute. And so what they've done is literally all those things is a bit of glass in a big sound. So what they've done is they've now turned that into the product that we were showing was like a screen on top of a screen. So you have the screen and then you have the glass on top of it. They were saying like the idea is to replace the glass of the screen with this new glass, and that glass is what sends out the sound. So instead of having speakers built into the TV or speakers separate from the TV, the screen itself would be what sends out the sound in the directional thing.
Wow. So it's quite advanced.
Yeah, it was like crazy. And I've seen the tech before, but I was with two guys who had never seen it. So, like, Keith told me to sit directly in the middle to sort of play a trick on them, just like sit directly in the middle, make sure you're the only one that sits there so you can hear it. And then he like started playing the thing, and I was just like, oh man, these speakers, like, they're really good quality. And the other guy was just like, I don't hear anything, like, have you even got it turned on? And then it was just like, oh, come sit here. So we swapped, and it was like, oh shit. Yeah,
that's weird. So you can all hear it if you're in like a certain.
Yeah, if you're sat, you can set it up different ways. But if you're sat directly in front of a screen, so if you're in front of it, like for the one we showed, then the sound will only be played in a straight line. So the thing Keith always says is, it's like a light bulb compared to a torch. So a light bulb on the ceiling spreads light all around the room, where a torch you can focus. So this is like the torch of sound. Okay. So it sends it in a very specific channel. But you can also bend it. So like halfway through, when I was sat on the outside, Keith was just like, right, I'm gonna, like, he just grabbed a box. It was just a headset box, and put it at an angle so that the sound waves would come from the TV, hit the box, and then would angle back like towards me. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And
sounds
like they use it. They've kind of got a product for people with hearing difficulties, and what they say is that, like, if, like, me and you, if you go to YouTube and watch our videos, you can see the setup that we're on now. Like, we're on a sofa, and so you could set that product up where, say, if I was hard of hearing, we could just have those pointed at me, and like normal TV speakers for you, and I could have it at like 1 million volume and hear it fine, but you wouldn't hear my 1 million volume. You would hear the normal sound.
Great. I was just about to ask. It sounds really cool, but what is the point of it? And like,
yeah,
I didn't want
so
to consider that.
That's kind of what they've got at the minute. Like, it'll also be useful, like, fucking, say for you, like in halls in uni, like if people like are watching TV next door and it's fucking stupidly loud, if they had this, they could literally direct it at their face and you wouldn't have to put up with that. And like, if you live in a house with other people, or it kind of like, if you live with other people and say someone's working like nights and wants to sleep during the day, but you work at home and want to watch TV during the day, you can just direct the sound at your face so that they wouldn't hear a thing.
That sounds great. Is there any like date on it at all? Like,
no,
it seems like super advanced.
Like this, there's a product out for, like, I think you can just buy it, but you have to go to like a audio specialist place. I'm fairly sure they've got, like, I don't know if they're going to continue, because last year they said they were aiming to bring like these big glass things to market for like normal people this year, but I don't know if this new glass technology that they're trying to use on screens is going to change that. But yeah,
it sounds really fucking cool, man.
It is. I'm still really excited about it.
Yeah.
And then to a bunch of other shit that, like, you can see on their website. They've got a new mic that's designed for live streaming, and the Elite Pro headset that I fucking love.
So they're doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, so a bunch of really excited about it.
Something I forgot to put on the schedule that I've went and saw as a half-an-hour demo of Batman by Telltale. Half-an-hour demo in their booth, apart from maybe Zelda and Capcom. They had the best booth, so it's literally just a little thing in the concourse area where you go in and it's like a bar type. I don't know why would you call it like a bar inside a house? Isn't there a word for that?
A bar inside a house.
Yeah, so you like have a bar, you have like a room where you like sit down, like you're the big old chairs next to the fucking fire with like a family portrait on the wall, and they have like a little inside bar. But it was like that for Batman in Wayne Manor, and then there was a clock on the wall, like a paper mache fucking grandfather clock. And that bit of the wall moved away, and that's where you go in for the demo inside the Batcave, and it's like, fuck it, it was fair play. It was quite cool. So I saw the first 30 minutes of the first episode, and the Batman stuff of him like going out and about being Batman didn't hit with me at all. A lot of the things, a lot of the lines that were said, a lot of the like the ideas and stuff, just would feel like an absolute retread of any Nolan, stuff that's been said. Even though the guy who's doing the demo did say, you may see some familiar themes here, but don't get comfortable. It's an original story, and we are mixing it up. I'd like to see how much they are mixing it up, because it didn't seem an awful lot like they were in the first half an hour. The combat, even though they said they've changed it, it was basically still QTEs, but they have a thing where you can use the analog stick and a button for combat now, and basically it builds, if you get every hit, so if you build a combo up of QTEs, you'll then get like a cool final strike. And the only bits about the actual Batman bit that impressed me were, so like from the bits where Batman's going about sneaking about and just picking off people one by one, you get like a real sense of the fear that these criminals had. But apart from that, I wasn't too impressed with the Batman stuff. But the stuff with Bruce Wayne is really interesting now. The design of Bruce Wayne himself is quite weak, I thought. He's shorter than Harvey Dent. He has like a weak chin, not good hair, and a quite shit voice. I was like, this doesn't feel like Bruce Wayne. Harvey Dent looked more like Bruce Wayne because he had like fucking crimson chin than Bruce Wayne did. But basically, he's having a gala to raise like votes for Dent at his house. And so you have to... I like it because I don't think any game's really delved into having to be Bruce Wayne and having to deal with either be a playboy or a businessman or a politician. Like, do you keep up with the honourable Batman, or do you shake hands with criminals when you're Bruce Wayne? I thought it was really interesting. So you're going around and you talk to these two old fellas, or two old people, who like, we have old families who need to be friends or whatever, and it's like, alright, you grease their palms and want to be friendly to get support for Harvey Dent and stuff like that. And it's all going well until it's found out that Dent's invited Carmine Falcone, which, do you know what that is?
Bad guy.
He's the mafia crime boss of Gotham, basically. And it's like, I find it interesting that they're making Dent a little morally corrupt here, so he's willing to like do a deal with him to get money and votes and stuff. But he's still doing that. He's still like, we're going to get rid of all crime, but in this his same breath, to get into it, he's wants to be pally with Falcone. So that was like an interesting little twist.
Isn't Dent the one that turns into
Two-Face yet? And he isn't Two-Face yet. They did say that it's Batman early in his career, so it's not like the first year. But he's competent as being a Batman now, but he's still only a few years in. It's like Two-Face hasn't changed and all that type of stuff. And then so there's a bit where you go and talk to Falcone on your own. It's like, do you like be subservient to him? Like, do you chalk his pill cute and like say, yeah, you're the boss of me or whatever, or do you like stand against him, which obviously will lead to repercussions in the future? So yeah, it looks, the Bruce Wayne stuff is certainly stuff I'm interested in, because the Batman shit is just going to be shit QTEs with gruff bad voices, so that stuff's good. And they did say as well that in certain situations you can choose to go approach them as either Batman or Bruce Wayne, so you go and punch them, or you go and be political about it. So I thought that's really cool. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they do with Bruce Wayne, but I can take or leave the Batman stuff. And finally, PES is fucking sick, but I'll talk about more on that later. Right, that's the end, nearly, of our final E3 podcast. But I think before we go, we should tell the listeners what our favourite games and surprises of the show were. So, top 3 games of the show, Stubbsy, and then your favourite surprises that you saw.
We do stuff we played and stuff we saw.
My top 3 are stuff I've played, but you can, if you think you've seen something really good, then that's fine.
So yeah, I would put God of War in there, but I didn't play it.
Yeah, you can. It's top 3, do you?
Yeah, I think visually God of War was probably the most impressive. And then I think The Last Guardian's got to be in there.
Okay.
Purely because it's The Last Guardian. And the third one, that's a difficult one. I mean, again, I didn't play it, but Modern Warfare Remastered is the game that I'm by far the most hyped for this year.
Of
course. Although, saying that, like, what else did impress me? Mafia looked alright.
Mm-hmm. He's Northern Irish, apparently, not Scottish.
Oh, well, he sounded fucking Scottish. He didn't sound like Colin.
Colin's not Northern Irish, though.
Well, yeah, but he's Irish, so it's basically
Colin's like
the same.
from the southernmost South City in Ireland.
It's basically the same.
It's
It is.
different accents, though.
Yeah, but like if they don't sound like Colin, then I don't associate them as Irish. So.
Okay. Well, that's not racist, though.
It's like there's a guy on Big Brother at the minute, and he's from Ireland, and he sounds like Colin if Colin was a little more camp. It's just like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, so I genuinely can't remember what I played. Like, let me get my schedule.
This week just ended you. Well, while you do that, I'll talk about my best 3. And these are all I've played, so I'd say third was Zelda, probably be higher if I had an affinity with Zelda, but I don't. But it looks really cool. Like from what I've read of other people's opinions, it seems like it's not going to be. It doesn't feel like other Zelda games, and obviously it's got the open world. Like I said, I've said numerous times in my preview and when we did the video, I just really fucking liked how the world seemed to have life because the enemies weren't just in battle mode straight away and weren't just there for me to kill. They seemed like they were cooking their own tea. They had their own life and stuff. It looks I really am interested to see what else can come of that. And another open world in a forest, Horizon. I've got hands on with that as well. It's really good. The gameplay is just really satisfying. Like the skids you can do as the player is one of the most satisfying. It's more satisfying than skids in real life, which is saying something. The world is really interesting. I like how it's something completely new, like Dawn of Mankind, a game. So we've gone full circle, like robot machines. And it seems like there's a lot of mystery and ambiguity to this world that's going to be discovered during it, and it seems like an interesting little story. And then finally, I think my game of the show, and it's a bit of a cop out, but my god, PES 2017 is fucking incredible. I went to see it yesterday, day 3, and I had an hour sit down with it. Just in it, it might help that it was like such a quiet room because Konami only have one fucking thing, but it's so good. Like they've added like 3 new things. So there's a thing like called Player ID now, where players are, like have like strengths and weaknesses based on their real life counterparts. So Neuer, I was playing as Germany, and the guy I was playing went for an own goal, and I brought Neuer out, and he was there instantly. And that's because Neuer's like, if you're on attack and they're coming back, Neuer starts on the edge of his box because he's like an aggressive keeper, and that's what he does in real life. And then I was told that Lloris is more defensive and Czech, so they stay on the lines more. And then keepers like David De Gea are like weak on the near post because that's what they are in real life. And then it goes into like the actual plays as well. So like Giroud and Pogba and Muller, you can tell the physicality of them, but even though the big players, they all feel different. So Giroud is not the tallest, but he's stocky and a bit of a chunk, so he can put himself about well. Pogba is just fucking like towering and well built, so he feels really powerful. And Muller is tall but slight, so he can like win headers and bide himself about. It's really cool. So every player feels like an individual, and you can tell like if you wanted to go like big man up front, it'd actually feel like it'd make an actual difference. And it's really good. They have a thing called adaptive AI as well. So if you play in the AI, and let's say you always played on the left wing, they'll adapt to that, start doubling up on you. And then if you like going through the middle, they'll start marking you. If you go long ball, they'll like sit deeper to get it out more. And it sounds really cool. I was interviewing Adam, who's I think the lead designer on it maybe, and he was so excited telling me about it. They've done so much good stuff on it. I didn't really think they could make it any better than last year, apart from the odd little thing, but they really have. Like the keepers are improved so much. The passing is so much crisper and more realistic. It's really fucking good. I think I've said this about PES 2016 as well, but this really could be the fucking greatest football game ever, and it's really exciting. And yeah, you looked at your schedule and have.
Yeah, I just realised a few games I'm actually playing.
So are these your top? These are games of the show? Or are you going to go surprises now?
No, these are like games like the God of War's in there, The Last Guardian's in there, and I think. Well, I'm not putting Kojima Remastered in there because that's like a bit of a cop out because I didn't even see game. Well, I did see gameplay of that, but it was not live gameplay.
Okay.
Probably something at Ubisoft because that's basically the only place I played any game.
Ubisoft had a lot of good stuff though. Apart from
I mean, like For Honor are really high on, but I didn't like those demos as much as I liked it last year.
Okay.
But that's because this was single player.
I imagine it'd be harder in.
Yeah, it was much more fun in multiplayer. It was just
the difficulty would be up a bit in the actual game, and you have to make demos easy just so they get done quicker.
I mean,
Steep was really cool.
Yeah, Steep was pretty cool. Although I did look a bit rough.
Especially that it's meant to be coming out soon. But the physics of the actual sport were really satisfying, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a third. Like, the fucking Battlezone, the VR thing, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But for the 4. Sniper Elite 4. Gotta get them right, because I get that and Ghost Warrior mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was Small Sniper Elite. Maybe Attack on Titan has to go in there because I didn't really play
Yeah.
much else.
Yeah, the win for Japanese and Mike Stubbsy there.
I mean, new Lego was fun, but that's new Lego. Injustice not my thing. Oh, fucking Tekken, because I beat you at it. Yeah, Tekken, third game of the show.
I'm a bit surprised is what stuff did you not think was going to be anything really to sing on about, but I'd probably say Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan, no, that was a surprise. What else? Not getting to go hands-on with Mafia, I thought that would be hands-on.
Oh yeah, so it's October, isn't it?
Soon.
It's over 27th.
So that being hands-off was weird.
Will the Gamescom might have hands on there maybe?
What else was a surprise? Devolver's fighting game thing that I spoke about the other day.
Yeah.
That was kind of surprising. I mean, announcement-wise, although, like, the two announcements that we kind of knew were happening, well, we had heard rumours, but were sort of already mentioned once or twice and not confirmed. Spider-Man and Kojima's, like, fucking Norman Reedus with baby fetus.
Yeah, I feel like there was quite a few surprises. So the Quake was quite a Prey. That
although we
people
kind of knew, like, Quake had been rumoured a lot.
Yeah, but like when it happens, like I think it's the reaction that gets people. So Quake and Prey, the reactions were great. The Crash Bandicoot, when that got like,
it was a bit shit.
They did it shit. I think they did it so that people's expectations weren't. I don't think they did it so people weren't going yes. So people only found out it was a remaster. But like, because they lowered the backdrop and everyone was like, "Is that Crash Bandicoot? Yeah, it's Crash Bandicoot." And you just hear the noise gradually get larger. The Kratos reveal was fucking sick. Like, yeah, I think the conferences were good. The ones we went to at least had fun. So my surprise on the show for that was Bound. It was a platform I'd never heard of before, and it looks like nothing special. Well, it looks pretty, but mechanic-wise, it didn't seem like there's anything special about it until you realise that you have to press these buttons as you move to make it look even prettier and to get like a flow going. It looks really nice, and I'm really intrigued to see where that goes. And then again, into Mayhem, I thought that would be a lot of shite, but I'm actually, especially because it was only pre-alpha footage that I saw, I was pleasantly surprised with that. And was that it for our E3 talking on podcasts?
Alright.
It's been a good one, hasn't it, Stubbsy?
It's been alright.
Sad that it's over, I am, but hopefully be back again sometime. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the GodisaGeek podcast. Day 3 of E3. I've been Dan Murphy, and that has been Mike Stubbsy. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Mabroski and at Mike Stubbsy. You can follow GodisaGeek on Twitter at GodisaGeek and on Facebook.com/GodisaGeek. And if you want to read our thoughts on these games and previews and where they could go and whatnot, go on to GodisaGeek.com for all your writings. And of course, you can go on to YouTube.com/GodisaGeek for our video previews of stuff we've played at E3, of the good and exciting stuff. We're not going to do previews of shite that we don't really like. What else is there? Oh, and of course, Patreon.com/GodisaGeek. If you'd like to throw us a couple of quid for our, I'd say, quite stellar coverage of E3 2016. And apart from that, I don't think there's anything else left to say, is there, Mike?
Nope.
So I guess you should say adieu to the listeners.
No, they're alright.
It's goodbye from me. C'est la vie.